Hi there everyone, and welcome to another episode of Culinary Wellness Wisdom. My name is Nikkie Windsor and I am a health and nutrition coach helping you identify healthy eating habits and lifestyle medicine that can improve your gut health and your overall well-being. Now, today I'm talking about healthy eating on a budget. With household bills increasing across the board, every cost is under the spotlight, including the food that you eat. Unfortunately, healthy eating can be expensive. To get balanced nutrition, you need a diverse diet that includes all of the macro and micronutrients required for the body to function properly. It might be tempting to cut costs and load up on calorie-dense foods like cereals and starchy foods or cheap processed foods. While this may save you money in your pocket, there may be a cost to your health. Most refined starchy foods and processed foods are lacking in nutrients, and this can have a detrimental effect on your physical and your mental health. So what are my tips for saving the pennies and still staying on a healthy diet? So my tips are all about buying food wisely and then using what you buy wisely. So to start with, you've got to buy the food in the first place. But before you do, why not think about meal planning? Now, at its most basic level, meal planning involves deciding on your dinners for the week ahead, shopping for those ingredients, and then preparing the ingredients. A little planning up front means you buy exactly what you need for the week ahead. So not only does this help avoid food waste, which is pennies down the drain, it can also help you save time by asking that question, what's for dinner, once a week instead of every single night. You can use time on the weekend to do some advanced prep, and that saves you even more time during the week. So it makes it a lot easier to maintain healthy eating. Now, when you're shopping, my top tips whilst you're shopping is set a budget and stick to it. These self-scan machines are really good because it helps you keep a track of what you're spending as you go. So if you find you're spending too much, then you can think about, do I need to put anything back, or, budget a bit more on some of the other products. When you go shopping, don't go shopping when you're hungry, and always take a list because that helps you buy only what you need. You can do a dual grocery shop. So get your staples from a low-cost supermarket like Lidl or Aldi, and then go and get the extras that they don't stock at a mid-range store like Morrison's or Tesco. Look at own brand products because they're normally cheaper. Now, don't be a brand snob without first tasting the own brand versions and the value products. If after tasting them you're convinced that the branding version tastes better, then feel free to pay the extra money. But if you find that you can't taste the difference, then save the money. And this applies to cleaning products and toiletries too. Equally, be certain that any premium or finest or extra choices are really worth that extra money that they cost. Look in the discounted sections for a wildcard dinner on shop day. In the fruit and veg section, that would normally be good for at least a day or two. Look at the unit price on multi-buy products because supermarkets have been caught out with using pricing tactics to make special offers seem cheaper than they are. So do check the unit price. And really important is check the weighted price. Now this tends to be on products like especially on fruits and vegetables, but also look in the meat department and fish as well. Because you'll find this on the shelf tickets underneath the products, and it will be a price per kilo or per 100. Because prices for a product can vary greatly, and buying the bigger package are not always the best value. And just for example, blueberries. In Tesco's, they've got several different packages of blueberries. And that per kilo price varies from, at the cheapest, around £8.50 a kilo, to over £14.50 a kilo for regular blueberries, and over £16.50 for organic. Now this is a huge price differential, so make sure that you're paying for the lower end of that scale. If you're not worried about what your fruit and veg looks like, then choose the wonky option. A lot of supermarkets are offering these misshapen vegetables and fruits, but do check that weight price, that they are cheaper than the products around them. And you don't have to buy fresh. Frozen and canned fruits and vegetables are often cheaper. And buying dried beans and lentils are cheaper too. Now, most frozen fruit and veg, they're frozen within hours of picking, so they tend to maintain their nutrients. And for canned goods, check that they don't contain added sugar or salt. So you've bought wisely. How can you now use this food wisely? Well, if you've overcooked a load of vegetables on one day, then make them a feature of a dish the following day. So throw them into a frittata or into a bubble and squeak. Bone-in meats are often cheaper, especially chicken, and you can make stock from the bones. Bone and meat broths are really good bases for soups, stews and casseroles, and even like a spaghetti bolognese or a curry. And you save on buying the stock cubes. And bone broth is excellent for gut health, and it is my go-to when I'm in flare with Crohn's disease. If at the end of the week you have vegetables left over, make a vegetable stock. And also make a note to buy fewer vegetables next week. And if you have leftovers and you know you're not going to eat them in the next couple of days, freeze them so they don't get forgotten at the back of the fridge. You can brush up on your food labelling knowledge, especially use by and sell by and best before days. So check out the video that I did on this a couple of months ago. Use all of your senses with best before dates, because the date only represents the point up until which they are at their best. They can still be eaten beyond this date, they just may be past their best. I've just finished some cream that was over a week past its best before date, but it tasted fine. There's many things in my life that are past their best, but few are worth giving up on yet. I like making a lot of meals out of a primary ingredient, so kind of like a batch cooking. So, for example, buy a whole chicken, make a roast chicken dinner one day, strip the carcass and throw all of the meat into a curry for a second meal, and then make a stock with the carcass for a soup. If you've only got a few bones, then throw them in a bag in the freezer, and then you can make a stock when you've saved up enough. And then when you've made that stock, you can freeze it into meal-sized portions and pull one out whenever you need to use stock in a recipe. Beans. Buy dried beans, super cheap, and soak them and cook up a big batch. From that, you can freeze a few portions that can be made into a bean dip or as a filling for tacos for a quick meal. Put half of the remaining beans into a bean chili and then make bean burgers with the rest. Freeze your bean burgers on a baking tray and then put them into a bag so they're really easy to just grab out a couple when you need them. Perhaps ground beef was on special this week and you bought yourself a couple of packs. So brown off a big batch and separate it into 2 saucepans. Make a bolognese sauce in one and a cottage pie filling in the other. If you bought more than that, why not make some curry flavoured beef burgers or some meatballs? You can again freeze them on a baking tray because it means they don't get stuck together then when you put them in a bag. Do check your portion sizes. If they are too large for your personal needs, that excess is either going into the bin or it's going on your waistline. Either way, it is costing you. So make sure that your portion sizes are suitable for your needs. Now, healthy shopping on a budget is all about being more aware of what you are buying and how you are using it. So I hope that these tips help you make wiser decisions. And please do share any tips that you have that I haven't mentioned in this video. If you like the video, please do like and share it to help me get it out to more people. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for another culinary wellness tip. Have a great week. All right, bye.